Heyo, welcome to the Channel 64 Chats, a monthly podcast with a rotating cast of Channel 64 cast members. That says cast twice, I'm going to have to rewrite that. That we have made into this community event, later to be posted to the Channel 64 YouTube as a sort of low-key podcast. For anybody watching on YouTube, this was recorded live in the Channel 64 community Discord. So if you want to hang out with us in the chat and ask questions, make sure you follow that link below to join us. And for those here, we are so glad you are here. We've made this a Discord stage so that we can share our screen, and you can chat with us and ask questions in the stage chat. So first of all, I have added something to the rotation to be more personable and smart. Who is everybody? We've got so I'm sitting here, Arrington, and we've got Lady LEONÉ.
Hello.
Loki and Mega is chilling under the table, as you do.
I dropped a penny and I just found it.
Fair enough. So how is everybody? What have you all been up to in Minecraft recently?
Not all at once, I guess. I've been working on my next Robot Masters area, so it's been a grind. I put out episode earlier this week.
Right, which is fantastic. It's insane what you've been doing on the server lately. Like, I get the grind and the passion to try to finish your base, but it's just mind-boggling how much you've gotten done.
Your builds are really so massive. It's really impressive.
Thank you. It's a rush right now.
I have been trying to plan out the rest of my town, as well as I made a short, which I'm very excited about. But I can't give any more information because, yeah. And I'm also working on a separate project, and I also can't talk a lot about that either. So
All of the secrets, so secretive.
So I can't talk about it yet.
So I know Mega and I did a collab before this earlier this morning. We collected foxes. It turns out they run really fast. It's
true.
very difficult to catch them with a lead.
It was a lot of fun to get foxes.
Yeah, look out for a game next season where we like throw speed potions at them, and you have to catch them with a lead, because that would be hilarious. They're so fast, and then they could jump too if they wanted. Oh, it's wild.
Now the question is, if you have a fox with a speed potion versus an evoker in a raid, who's faster?
That sounds like the Loki level of wild and figuring things out.
And there's only one way to find that out, I'd say.
Right.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty fun game next season.
Oh yeah. I would. This season's game is not as animal friendly, unfortunately. We've had a lot of that in our interactions this season, Mega and I.
It's getting kind of weird this time.
It happens.
Okay, but the foxes are safe, right?
Yes, the foxes are safe.
Yes.
I mean, really, it's just a quick feeding method. And the foxes get to eat chickens. So which one eats the chicken faster? We'll find out. I mean,
place your bets right now.
Yeah. But from there we'll go into there's not really any kind of meeting update, so I think we've rotated things around this time. So chats last about an hour, and meetings right now with the transition from season 2 to season 3 are an indefinite amount of time. So in order to keep chats kind of lined up, we did chats first, and honestly that might work better in the future. So that might be how we rotate things. Maybe we'll get little hints at meeting notes. There's not a whole lot I can tell you right now, just because there are so many transitional things, but a lot of reaching out for potential new members and just figuring out what we want next season to look like, starter biomes, all kinds of the logistics that I thrive off of and have so much fun doing behind the scenes.
Admin Aerington.
Yes, admin Arrington. I've been a little on overload, so episode's coming, but it's been delayed.
Yeah, same.
Admin Arrington. So from there, let's get right into the main topic. So 120 is nearly here. So we thought, what a better time to have a more relaxed chats and just kind of discuss the new update, what we're excited for, and maybe some constructive criticism on what we'd like to see on the future.
Constructive, yes.
Constructive, yes. Because there are a lot of opinions about updates, and I think the reality boils down to as passionate as we can get about it. Most of us bought this game years ago, and they're still updating it and bringing a lot of life to the game. So while there
That's
are
true.
complaints, yeah, I mean, you gotta respect that. So
Yeah.
so LEONÉ, what are you most excited for?
Probably the sniffer, just
That-
because I think it's very cute and derpy.
It is adorable.
think It is so cute. I can't wait to find an egg and then hatch my little sniffer, and then it grows into a big sniffer.
It's a snifflet.
The little snifflet.
What? Is
It's
that
a
what they're called?
They
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
them they're snifflets.
The babies are
That is
called
so
Snifflet.
cute.
It's
So
adorable.
A snifflet.
Wow.
No, I'm really excited for those. I mean, the building blocks are also great and decoration and stuff, but I'm a sucker for a cute mob. I really
yeah.
like the sniffers.
But baby camels, not so much.
Wait, I forgot there's camels in the game.
They're
Oh,
adding
that's even
llamas.
better.
Llamas.
We have
Yeah.
camels. There's llamas being added.
Yeah, like, I forgot camels are being added. Wait. Whoa, wait, hold up. I love camels in real life. I don't know how I forgot this.
We gotta rewire LEONÉ's
have-
brain here for a second.
I've got such a like in real life, I've got such an attachment to camels, and I completely forgot there are camels in the game. Coming to the
Go-
game.
Go and
Wow.
check them out. They have such wiggly ears when you ride them.
That's
true, and they have like
awesome.
these really cool animations. Oh my goodness, that went over my head. Wow.
See, this is the point in the game where, like, as frustrating as it can be different times where you're like, I wish they'd just add this or add that. This is the point where I'm like, okay, I can respect not adding two people horses because the intention might have been down the line to bring in something like a camel. I don't know how in advance they think, but I'm excited for the camel. And like when it comes down to the content side of the update, that's going to be fun.
I wanna
Riding
hear the
camels
noises that
adventures
the
is going to be
camel
great.
makes.
Dude, it totally has to happen that you want to pick up someone on the server to an adventure and you come to him with a camel.
Oh, absolutely.
That is just the
Absolutely.
new thing.
That's a given.
Yeah.
That, and I think they can jump a long ways too. So those could be some really interesting like obstacle courses and races and such.
Camel
Ooh, yeah.
races.
So much opportunities.
I'm so excited. I completely forgot about that. I'm sorry. Wow.
Mega, what are you most excited about?
So, as a redstone guy, I probably have to say calibrated skulk sensors.
Okay, good, because I was gonna single out Loki if somebody else didn't get into the redstone. So
but I'm not saying calibrated skulk sensors.
Oh,
I like them, and I like how they designed it and make them more useful than regular skulk sensors. But I don't see any particular uses for me right now. So
Okay.
I'm actually going with bamboo blocks.
Bamboo is gorgeous.
Also from a farming perspective, a pretty cool wood source for like all the chest and hoppers and stuff that you need for your other farms.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I will say that's one where they try to balance things a lot, and that's a pretty significant change.
Yes.
Being able to grow chests at that rate will be wild, but I don't think it'll take away from things though too much either. I don't know if I've necessarily enjoyed mining down a bunch of trees for chests specifically, but
I mean, to be honest, how much chests do you have right now?
so many.
Arrington has a lot.
A
So-
lot.
so many
you
chests.
won't have way more because of bamboo.
That's true.
But you also don't have way less because you can't use bamboo for that. So I don't think bamboo will regulate the amount of chests or use woodage. Wood usage. My God.
Wood-
what
wood
was
usage,
that?
yes.
All right. So bamboo. Are you excited about the building and the colors, or the quick utility of it, or all of the above?
All of the above.
So I have
Actually,
done some messing around with bamboo, and the green with some of the mosses and stuff is really neat.
Yeah.
And having that new
yes.
yellow color is going to be nice.
That will fit pretty good with birch, I think,
Yeah, and
which also gives birch more opportunities to shine.
and scaffolding will be a much more useful block in decorating, or a more how do I want to word my thoughts? Like, you'll be
Matching
able to
block
blend
even.
with it better. It'll be more natural. Yeah, it won't look like
Yes.
scaffolding sitting there. It'll look like a bamboo table next to the
Yeah,
bamboo
that's what I'm
walls or
thinking. Is like
such.
you have like I'm just excited because I'm gonna have bamboo chairs to match my bamboo on my scaffolding tables. Because I always use the scaffolding for tables when I'm doing interior decorating, so they're gonna be matching.
Absolutely.
That's great.
All right, and then on to, let's see, Loki. What are you excited about?
What am I excited about?
Is that a loaded question?
Next question, please.
I'm gonna be honest, not really excited about any of it. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I would say
Is there something specifically that you would have done a little differently yourself?
like in the update, like creating the update.
No, more specifically in some of the specific features that are coming.
Like I think just like the bamboo, for example, that's a good one where oh god. Where
Go for
uh,
it.
we've got, one block that has the nice green on it, and then they decided that, oh, you know what, let's just add like a bunch of different, variations of the yellow one, but not do that to the green one, which is really dumb
Yes,
in my
because
opinion.
that green is very pretty.
Right.
It's
Very
like
nice, like more muted
I
green.
I really like the concept I saw where someone was using that kind of the same concept as aging copper with drying bamboo, where they had different gradients to that. And I don't understand why they can't just implement that to that block and have all these more variants that they could add to like give more variety and color and stuff. Because I think that would be really good. And and honestly, Mojang, that would help me tell my story better since that was your focus. So
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but I get why they won't do that, since now bamboo is like in line with every other wood. Like the birch variants, for instance, are not white and black. They are all like the planks.
But they
That's
could be white and black.
They could, but
They-
now it's like just in line with all the other wood.
no, that makes sense. But then with that, I would say that I didn't really think we needed all the variants of the wood because we don't have like chiseled wood for like everything else. Like I think we should just probably have like just the wood types that we have now with and then that's why we want to do like birch planks or something, or not birch, the bamboo planks or whatever. But like just at least finish out like some of the stuff that they have with stairs and slabs, like you know concrete, or even some of the stone types and stuff. It makes no sense because like we're talking development wise, they literally have all of the pieces of the puzzle to do that now. It is literally adding basically an entry to a database saying here's this item, because they don't have to create new textures, they don't have to create new models. They have all you can really do it in like an hour to get all the
Yeah,
stuff added.
that is true. Yes.
Because
So
like
it just or like even better, fix the Z fighting on your iron bars.
That would be nice.
like why is that such a hard thing
I-
to do? Like I don't
So-
understand.
To go back to the other point, I agree. I personally would have liked to see the smoking the wood to dry it kind of thing. I saw that Twitter post as well a while back, and it's a really cool concept. And to play devil's advocate, I would like to hope that they have plans for a green wood, and that's the reason that they're sticking away from it. I understand Mega's point too, where it's the stripped variant, the yellow is. So I can understand it. But I get where you're coming from, as well as the sides of how you would have done it different, how I would have done it different. And I would hope that that's part of not seeing the whole picture.
Yeah. And even just when we get into like some of the other like actual details of it and stuff, some of it just seems kind of half baked. Like, with the sniffer, they only have 2 different plants that it digs up. It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of underwhelming.
I would
I was
say
hoping
that,
for 3 at least.
and I can
And they don't do anything either. They're just decorative, which is fine. But like it also, if you have torch flower and then pitcher plant, it just implies like this should put off light. This should put off, this
be
should
a
be able
bucket
to
or
hold
something.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be if there's something constructively I would have hoped for done differently. That does seem like a given, and I don't know if it's just poorly named or what that is, but
It's based off of real flowers, as far as I know. Like a torch flower and a pitcher plant are 2 real flowers.
No, and yeah, I completely
Um,
understand. And I
They're
don't know.
modeled after those real flowers, but they really like. I agree in the sense that they could have used that to make it a little bit more magical.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, they're coming from an ancient sniffer dinosaur. Like they're, the
They don't have to be
fantastical
that
elements there.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the more subtler note of things, hanging signs are awesome. Being able to edit signs, I think, is going to be fantastic. Is it game
Long overdue,
changing?
but yes.
Yeah. Is it game changing? No. Is it going to end up like candles, where it's just kind of all right? Maybe, but it's little changes that I think will help in the long run for sure.
Wait on candles. Candles are useful.
They're useful, but they're not as useful as hoped. Luckily, lighting
Yeah.
was fixed at the same time. But the fact that they give off less light overall than other blocks made them a little less useful than I'd hoped.
That's true.
All right, for
But
the
I was gonna say, so like to legitimately answer the question, I guess the most exciting thing, that at least it's somewhat interesting, is the pots. I think the pots are cool, like for
Yeah.
decorations.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll kind of lean into that a little more then on what I'm most excited about. Which, knowing you all, I don't think anybody else is going to have this answer. I'm excited about the ruins. I try to incorporate an adventure in all of my episodes, and so something that says here is a place to go. I mean, it's not the Warden. Don't get me wrong. It's not like this crazy new adventure, but going to find things like that, I enjoy that. I enjoy the adventure of the game and going to new places. I think digging things up will be a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, pots are gorgeous. They're perfect for my regular aesthetic.
Yeah, and the armor trims are cool. Like it's a nice piece of loot. Once again though, like with even the ruins, it seems half baked. Like they're not great looking. Like, and I get it. Like it's supposed to be ruins, but like you look at like what they did with the ancient city, and like that is more fleshed out. Whereas like the ruins is just like, okay, I'm gonna just shove some random terracotta colors everywhere, and like it doesn't really have cohesion or anything. I like the idea of like digging stuff up. I mean, I think that's really cool. But like what they originally showed with archaeology, what's implemented now is just like that is some real minimum viable. Like
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not quite a bastion, that's for sure. But I do like that they spread it out amidst some of the other less useful structures as well, like the under the ocean ones, or did they put them with the wells? I know that was talked about, but
Yes, they have the suspicious gravel and sand with the wells,
the
and
desert
then they
wells.
have in the desert wells, and so that's
And
nice to give them purpose.
and see, for me, like loot wise, the pot shard. It's pronounced shards, right?
It's still shards, yeah,
Okay.
just spelled differently.
Um, Desert Well Redemption arc.
Desert
Yeah,
Well
for sure.
Redemption Archeolington.
Love it. Yeah, no, I mean, that's enough for me as far as the reasoning. I don't need a whole lot of reasons a lot of times as much as the content side of things is what I try to look for.
I mean, to be fair, it's not a whole lot of update, but for me personally, it's nothing where I say, man, that really ruins the game for me. So there's nothing I really say that's a bad addition.
Well,
Great.
it is, I'd say 95% a good addition. The only bad addition I would say is the netherite changes, where
I would
they're now
argue that.
requiring diamonds. I don't know. They just made it needlessly cumbersome. It's like they unbalanced the game, and then they like unbalanced it some more in the other direction to try to like make it better. But I don't like it.
I
But
would
it's fine.
agree it's a little late. The timing feels a little icky. But I would also argue that diamonds lose their usefulness very early on, and that's why it's currency for most SMPs. I'm excited for the opportunity for diamonds to be worth something more than how many you can keep in your chest.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Even still, it's so easy to get diamond armor and diamond tools when you have a villager set up.
Yeah, so right now the diamonds actually has almost no use except for an enchantment table and a jukebox.
I mean, yeah, because if you're getting tools from villagers and stuff, yeah, I. So it is more needlessly complicated, and I think they're trying to encourage the adventure to go find stuff, and we'll see how it plays out in actuality, especially amongst an SMP where, as we've discussed before, everyone will have these things really quick.
Yeah.
And there's always the incremental updates that they're doing now too. So a lot of the stuff will get added later on. I don't know. It's just hard coming from like when we think back to like 116 and stuff, and how like big and fleshed out that was. And then even then they're like, oh hey, we're just gonna throw in some more stuff in there as well. And it was just like kind of, I don't know. It's hard to come back to that, I guess. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the overcorrection of caves and cliffs. And I think we're gonna
yes.
see that for a while, and I don't know, maybe this is the admin and me talking, but like I can understand and respect that we're gonna see some overcorrection for a bit. And I don't think it's poorly handled. I writing out the list of what we've got like 12 major things here. Trying not to like just burn through them one by one, but like there's there's a lot coming, even if it's not things that specifically excite. It will change a lot of aesthetics and like building and stuff throughout the game, especially things like the cherry blossom wood. And just in general, I think the pink flowers are going to be awesome. The pink particles.
Yeah, just pink
Oh,
leaves.
they
Having
will be
pink leaves
great.
is going to be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean those are nice. I think those are done okay. Not a huge fan of the wood color. I kind of like what was done with those in the biomes, which is funny because they had all that stuff implemented like well before Mojang came out with it officially. But I don't think it's like bad. I think it's well done. I mean,
Oh, the biome's cherry wood is very red though. It's got bright red, like my hair color red.
I think it's supposed to be more like realistic in that sense. But yeah, I do wish that there was like a green wood for sure.
I think
I
my
have to
problem with the
imagine that's
cherry.
coming. Sorry.
Probably at some point.
I think my only problem with the cherry wood is the cherry planks kind of have like weird colors on them. And I don't know how to explain it properly, but something about the cherry planks just don't sit well with me. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to use them if they don't sit well with me.
I'm more interested in the actual bark on the cherry wood to see like what that blends in with, because it's like a very dark purplish red. So I'm kind of curious to see
I
how I
think
can use
it's
that.
quite pretty, and I think you can like make gradients with it with like purple blocks and red blocks.
I think it'll be
I
interesting
personally
to.
really like it.
Oh, for sure. I think it'll be interesting to come back to this in, a year's time or so, because this isn't the first time we've had conversations like this too, where, like a lot of times the things that you end up most excited about 6 months from now are going to be the insignificant things that you found a specific use for that you love.
Yeah, like if
Um,
we talk,
Yeah, that's
like
true.
we were talking yesterday about 119, like and kind of like with mangrove and stuff. Like aside from going there and getting the wood, like it was kind of like pointless. You go there, you strip it out, and that's it. It's like I don't want to live there. It's a neat biome, I guess. Frogs, neat for frog lights. Didn't really do much with them otherwise. Allays are kind of useless.
Awful.
I
And I
Yes.
just don't like LAs. I'm sorry.
I also never used them.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
never
gonna-
owned a single ally.
I'm not going to argue with the LA point, but I will say, like, but the things that came from that, and maybe the biome's not amazing and we're not hopping to live there, but the wood that came from it is all over the build behind us, all over all of our
Oh yeah,
builds this
the
season. So
wood's
I mean,
great.
Yeah.
any
The
wood
That's
wood
true.
scrap
and
is
the wood and the mud are just
Yes,
I mean,
mud
I
is
think those are
great.
genuinely game-changing blocks.
Those
they were
weird
Actually,
root
fantastic.
blocks, love it.
that actually are the best blocks we got, redstone wise.
Which ones?
The mangrove roots.
Oh, you're gonna have to explain that more for my non-redstone
Because
brain.
they are actually extremely special in their behavior, since those are blocks that can be powered, but they won't suffocate a mob if they are in there. So they are actually transparent blocks, but that they can be powered, and they also can be waterlogged while the water is not flowing out.
Oh yeah, the
That's
waterlogging
awesome.
without the water flowing out is very useful as well.
Yeah, I use that in my my bushes to make like flowers out of coral and stuff.
I saw
Oh
that.
yeah,
That
I
is
saw those.
gorgeous.
So you see, that also helps decorating. So
So
for
the-
me, that was by far the best block they added in a long time.
Or even just waterlogging leaves is great because you can make like blast chambers and stuff with that, and it won't break because it's water.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
So then, keeping along the redstone adjacent line, what are we thinking on chiseled bookshelves? Anything redstone
aside from-
excitement, or more just kind of general? They're pretty.
They're pretty, and I think it's cool. I like the idea of like doing like a secret bookshelf door thing, but like utility wise, you can sort books out of it with it, so that's kind of you can use it as like an item filter for books, like we do with like say for example the brewing stand with potion bottles, so you can filter certain types of items out that way. So that it has some utility there, but like as far as like it being something that's going to be really integral to redstone projects, no, probably not.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's mainly going to be used for things like storytelling. And I mean a lot of this update is storytelling focused. But yeah, I can only see myself really using it in terms of making a singular secret room in my base.
It would have, yeah, it would have been better if they treated like the books like they do the potion bottles, where they're all colored, like especially when we're talking enchanted books, so that we can tell them apart, and
Oh,
like
that would be great.
and that the colors would change based off of where you put them in the bookshelf would be amazing. But I I mean it's fine what it is. It's a nice decoration piece. We've been using looms for a while to make empty bookshelves, and so now we can do that. They're cheap to make. I don't think it's a negative. It's just like I kind of wish it worked a little bit better, but it's fine for what it is. My worry though is lag with those, because I think they're entities.
That
Are
could be
they?
They're
interesting.
block
Oh,
entities.
yeah,
'Cause I was
That's
thinking of
probably the case.
I was thinking of using them as flooring because they have like that great top texture, but that might change things.
We shall see.
We shall
I
see.
mean, they should be entities like, for instance, a dropper. So they have an inventory and they have a certain amount of lag, but it's not as bad as like a chest.
Yeah, probably much less than a hopper because it's not always looking for things being put into it, but it's gonna be it'd be like a furnace or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
And so that's an interesting thing you've hit on though too, is the storytelling of this. So I don't think the update screams storytelling. Maybe not as much as the title implies, but I do think there's a lot of potential there. I know specifically I'm excited for the mob head changes.
Yes, that's
being
gonna
able
be
to
a lot of fun.
yeah, so as we use those kinds of things on the back end all the time. So being able to, pop down a beta head and put a redstone to it and it says I am beta, or um, whatever translate from season to season, or that could be the catalyst for the whole next big thing next season. I know we've had a ton of things out of the quantum battery this season. That's another thing. You could put it there, push a button, and it makes a sizzle sound or something. There's all kinds of crazy things that I'm excited for that.
Now that you are saying that, it might be that the mob head change might actually be the best thing we talk about in a year.
It could be,
that we
though.
used that the most, since they actually made it very much modification friendly.
I mean, honestly, for me, I think one of the most exciting changes, well, for us, because we're not on 119.4 right now, would be the changes to the jukebox. Is what I'm excited about. It makes it a lot easier for what we're doing, because right now the mod that we have is really complicated to keep the disc in the jukebox while it's playing. Whereas 119.4, you put it in and it locks it. Because it puts an redstone signal out, so it's just very simple to work with. So I'm very excited to get to using that again.
And see, we can kind of trace that back to the chiseled bookshelf too. Like you said, they're doing a lot of small changes lately. They're improving little by little. And so maybe the overall isn't super exciting, but if they're finally coming back to things like a jukebox, this could be the time that they put out the chiseled bookshelf, and in 6 months to a year's time, maybe they look at that and say, all right, here's how we could do this a little better. And kind of update those things. Or it could take forever and we could have another fletching table. It's hard to say.
See, yeah.
I can't promise.
Ooh,
Maybe.
the fletching table.
We're closer than ever. Yes, that's how time works.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think
Pretty sure the next update will be just the fletching table update.
Love it.
I think things like the decorations is what I'm probably going to use the most. As I think there's a lot of opportunities. I saw a design, a 120 design with that made this truck with the hanging signs, and it looked so cool. And I think the hanging signs actually have a lot of potential to be used similarly to banners.
Right.
When making new designs or vehicle designs or anything like that. I think in general the decorative options that we have are going to kind of open up some new creative aspects for the people who are creative in the sense that they can create these really interesting interior design pieces.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
I think that's all going to be pretty cool. Once again, I'm just looking at the technical side of it. I just hope that that's not adding a ton of lag, because I know with signs and stuff, especially even glowing signs, it was bad. Now that said, though, they're rewriting their lighting engine, so that could be potential to make things a lot smoother. I'm hoping. So I'm curious to see about the technical stuff on what they fixed there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all that stuff's pretty interesting.
And as far as decorations, I think we're gonna see a lot more of those pink flowers and pops of pink all over too with cherry blossom, which will be exciting.
Yeah. I think one thing that I would have liked to see in a Tales and Trails update, oh my goodness, is
I'm telling
is
I
villages.
teleported him up into the air to kill him.
Uh, yeah, I think brain, come on. One thing I would have liked to see is another form of a lantern, like another light source that can be used.
Orange flower.
A torch flower could have
Hey.
been cool, yes, but like something like a sconce. That's the word, a sconce.
Yes.
Something that you can put up against the wall would have been game changing. That is
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
torch. I know you can put
Torches are
torches up
very
against the wall,
dated.
but just an updated torch texture or a torch up like a torch 2.0
Or something
that's
that
like
you
a
can put
sconce.
candles in, like you can hang them like on the wall with
Yes.
the, like imagine like a flower pot but for candles that you just
That would have
stick it on the
been
wall type of thing.
Actually,
that would have
I
been so
think
cool.
I
A
think
candelabra, a candelabrum.
yeah. One thing we really need is almost all of the blocks we got are for a certain medieval style. I think more blocks for the like modern area would be really
Yes.
appreciated.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even just updating stairs and concrete to use stairs and slabs would be a huge like benefit.
Moyen, just give me an hour and I'll have it done for you. I mean, they've already got it done. They've already got it. Well, okay, so here's a question. Like, so we were able to accomplish that in a data pack. Is that technically a mod or is that still going to be considered vanilla? Because technically, data packs are vanilla.
Are you asking admin Aerington for the Channel 64 SMP? Is that
It's
what
just
we're
it's just a
doing?
hypothetical question to the people listening because I'm just saying like you could probably accomplish that in a data pack without
Right.
like modding the game.
I think something that big is then the balance of viewers being able to watch something and say, "Oh, I can build that."
You
And
can. I'll give you the data pack. Here you
go. There you go.
But how do I install a data pack?
Oh, every one of them, every last
Dude, that's
one
super
of them.
easy.
Oh goodness. Just look up a YouTube tutorial.
I know Loki's next video.
Oh, I was
How to
gonna,
install a data pack.
oh, so there,
Spoilers.
no. So okay, so I had something I did want to mention that I saw in an update notes for the last update that they did, the snapshot. So one of the things that they put in there was remember how we had the April Fool's update, the vote thing, and they had like that place block that was in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they took that out of experimental and put it in, so that was an experimental feature, but now it's not an experimental feature. So I thought that was interesting because there wasn't really anything mentioned about it, and it's not going to be in the update, but it's weird that that functionality is now non-experimental. Like, I guess map makers, you can use it or something, but maybe that's something that's coming at some point.
Right. Yeah, it's
I
interesting
did,
how
I did not knew that.
how they're kind of balancing out the ability for people to make maps and things, and there's a lot of that in the background for sure. And I think that might just go back to Bedrock's shop.
That's where the money's at. Yeah.
Yep, that's where the money's at. So that they're gonna keep doing those things, I think. So the one thing we haven't really touched on yet is armor trims. We mentioned it a little bit, and I think that's probably gonna lean into towards the side where, you know, we're all kind of not heavy on armor here, because again, we go back to storytelling, and so there is some uses of storytelling there, but we do a lot of storytelling with invisible armor and just with our skins. But is there any
Yeah.
other reasons I'm missing that anybody's excited about it?
No, I think it's pretty cool. Like I like it just like as a way to, I know that Jess has even talked about like having a guild or something like that where you go find armor trims. And I think that's pretty fun. Going back to like, you know, I wish that this was, you know, a little bit more fleshed out. Like I really wish like with the armor trims that if you had gold trim, for example, that would cause piglins not to aggro, like to give it like a little bit
Yeah.
of a purpose, or like, hey,
Yeah.
if you wear prismarine or something like that, then you get less aggro from like almost treat it
Or a
like
little water
invisibility, but
breathing.
or like you know how they have like
Yeah.
it's not really known, but like if you wear like a mob head, like creepers are less likely to notice you. Like it would be cool like if you had like say prismarine that the guardians would be less likely to aggro you or something like that. Like just a little
Yeah.
something to kind of flesh it out to make it more interesting because otherwise like why am I going to trim like leather armor with netherite? Like why would I do that? Like that's
Right.
Yeah.
stupid.
So yeah,
I don't know.
Stowe in the
Why
chat
would you
said,
use nether? Why would you use leather armor in the first place?
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
or
there
yeah,
is use
give us a
now.
reason.
Snow. So I
True.
mean,
Yeah, the boots, okay.
Well, no, you can wear leather armor in snow. So, like, if you're not wearing the boots, you can sink down into powdered snow with leather armor. You won't take damage.
right. So, um,
Bragging rights.
yes,
That's what I
Stowe
was
in the
thinking
chat
as
said,
well.
for me, armor trims are just another fun thing to collect, and there's a lot of agreements upon that. And I think that's where we're at. I agree. This is another one where constructive criticism wise, we would have loved to see some functionality. As people that make, and I know the update is not solely for content creators, but as people that make content and show off our skins, the smallest percentage of utility would have been great. Leather on
Yeah.
your boots makes you walk on top of things, on top of snow. Gold on your helmet or whatever makes the piglins not aggro you. Like those things would have been great because who wants to take off, and maybe that's part of the balance, but who wants to take off their best armor to go into the nether just for piglins? I
Yeah.
usually just forget and take the risk. I don't.
Yeah.
And even just having like different sets of armor, like you have your gold netherite set, and you have your ocean netherite set, and you know just kind of swapping between armor sets depending on what adventure you're going on could also be a lot of fun. Like maybe
Absolutely.
you need
but
maybe to make it like more difficult, you could have like all four. You need to have all four the armor pieces trimmed, and then you get like a buff. So maybe you get water breathing, or you get something like that, and then you
I
can
like
use
the
that.
idea. I like the idea of trims having buffs and effects, but
Yeah.
having such a small inventory and like having 6 different armor sets just for different occasions. Oh my.
Yeah, I'm thinking like something you'd put that in your base on like little.
We're gonna need an ender wardrobe.
An ender wardrobe.
Yeah.
That
Love
could
it.
be fun, actually.
Actually, that would be really cool. Like you could set up like armor sets where you just click on it and it automatically populates all the armor on you or something like that. Like that would be
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Because I'm just thinking like, more like an RPG game or something where you have, depending on what build you're going for, you have different armor. And I think that could have been, that's a bit of a missed opportunity. They could have gone for these different builds for armors.
Netherite armor tank. Full
like
tank.
the comment that Mr. Dragon said, emerald trimmed armor makes villagers 30% more noises. I would wear emerald armor for that.
That would be great.
Emerald trimmed armor.
Maybe like
Um,
a cheaper price. Or maybe not, because they
Ooh.
see you're in full emeralds, and so they're like, nah, more. It costs more to you.
They would
Yeah.
follow you. How about that?
There you
Oh
Easier
go.
to move
my,
villages.
That would
would be
be
a real game
That would
changer.
be amazing.
mind blown game changer. Emerald
Oh my
trimmed
goodness.
armor,
And
and
then
they follow you.
emerald. That would be. See, that would have been so useful.
Now I just need my berry trimmed armor so I can go get more foxes. That's
Let's not
really
talk
Um,
about the fox hunting.
there's one more thing. I think, like Stowe said, is another fun thing to collect. I really enjoy collecting things, so I'll probably be making some kind of, and then story wise, I'll probably be making some kind of like clothing shop, because we have, this is the closest thing to fashion we're getting in the game. So I mean, maybe one day they'll add skirts, but until then,
We can make it work. I was gonna say like it would be neat. I think we could probably make our own armor trims too to add them to the game as well. So we have like the vanilla ones and then like throw in some like really custom stuff in there if we wanted to.
I mean, if I
That
can
could be
have just
really
have some
interesting.
pink trims, that could be a lot of fun just for
Oh yeah, do they have pink trims?
No,
Be
they have
purple.
purple ones
Well,
for the
yeah,
amethyst.
yeah.
Oh, I
Purple
guess
for the
amethyst is
amethyst,
kind of
yeah.
pink purple, yeah.
It's more purple than pink, but yes.
Also, Leonie, if you're collecting rare stuff, I have a tall grass block on the SMP actually.
Ooh, do you have a tall
That-
fern?
That is really rare.
Oh, that's right.
Thank
They're
you.
in like some chests and villages. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't get them
Um,
otherwise.
I'm
But
really
also, you
excited
can't
about
plant them
a
since
large
then they are
fern.
gone.
I mean, I think that'll be a lot of fun. Same with the pots. I'm probably gonna have a lot of fun trying to collect every single pot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Those are entities as well. Those are block entities.
Oh
Ah.
my!
We're gonna have
That
a
was
lot of learning about lag next season.
Gosh.
Yeah, I agree with you though, Lena. The adventures that will come out of it is going to be great, especially for content. And so I think in general the Tales and Trails, like it's a little subtle on the naming, but I think we've pointed out some of the the tales, the story aspect of things, as well as the trails, the exciting of going on more adventures and finding the trims, finding the pottery parts. And so I can see the name more now as you delegate everything out individually. But
Yeah. I think they had a bit of a missed opportunity for adding, like I said earlier, some more like RPG elements to the game. Like if it was like, Tales and Trails and then they added a little bit more, you know, functionality to the armor, for example, or it's just small things that could have kind of added to the whole experience. I don't know, there were some missed opportunities to
We
make
need
it a bit more.
backpacks.
I agree.
Yeah.
Backpacks.
Yeah.
Backpacks could have been amazing.
Yeah.
Overall,
It would have been very fitting in this update as well.
I do
Yes.
like it, even though we do have a data pack to do that now, so we're not really going to notice much, but universal dyeing is nice that they added that for wool and for beds. You can re-dye wool. So that is kind of nice that that's built in now.
yeah.
Something I didn't
So
even realize we didn't
overall,
have.
We have
overall,
it, which is
I mean, we have it as a data pack on the server, right?
right, but now it's going to be vanilla.
No, it's going to be vanilla.
That's where my Bedrock background kicks in, and I'm like, no, that's always been a thing. That's not here. What?
Oh yeah, what was it? Yeah, the last update they just removed the shovel as part of the boat, the boat recipe in Bedrock. I'm like, wow, that's still a thing there. I forgot all about
it
that.
is.
Like, I mean, they also could have added an opportunity to make, or taken the opportunity to improve a boat. They could have added a little sailboat that goes a bit
Oh,
faster.
that's the thing too. Like, was it the raft? Like they made a big deal about the raft being different than the other boats, and it's exactly a boat. Like
I
it doesn't do
completely-
anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I completely forgot about the raft.
It
It's a
kind of
boat
looks
without walls.
ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
I
also
just-
just pointless.
Yeah,
It
the
is.
Like, if you
slightest
could've-
more addition would have been nice to functionality.
Like, maybe if you could build like a big raft.
A boat, but less boaty. Yes,
That,
exactly.
or add an ender chest or a bed on it. I think a bed would have been great.
A
Or
bed
even
boat?
just big enough to have like a chest, a bed, like a crafting table, and there you've got a movable base, but a starter base. Also,
Yeah,
the
no, it's just
perfect
having-
raft for going to the ocean monuments.
Hey, but at least we have another
Yeah.
use for copper now. The copper brush.
It is pretty.
Oh yeah.
It
Man,
is pretty.
I wish with the copper brush that you could brush down dirt and sand to make layers just like sand or snow. That'd be
Yeah, but
amazing.
that wasn't happening.
I know.
That
We all
would
knew
be
that one
too-
wasn't coming.
That would be
That-
too complex.
That was too wishful thinking.
Yeah, I mean, imagine dirt slabs. Just if we just could change between full block and slab for dirt.
That would be great.
It would just be too much. It would be words. It would be too much. Another thing that I think not just me, but a lot of people have been asking for is like being able to place flowers like candles.
Oh yes, that would
Yes.
be nice.
Such an easy
I
change.
feel like
Yeah.
Well, I don't know on the
like,
back end, but yeah.
because like I mean the flowers in nature don't have to spawn like that. Just being able to like place them yourself in that kind of pattern would have been really great. Another great thing is being able to put plants into the new pots or
Yeah.
Too tall, yeah.
adding bigger pots for plants. It just I don't know. If they wanted to make this like a really big on decoration and storytelling, there are so many like little things that I feel like would have just elevated it so much, and there were a lot of missed opportunities, but I enjoy what's coming.
I just like
So bring
was
it back
it
to the positivity.
I like
Right.
the like what we see in modded where there's like ruins and stuff where you'd find like groups of pots in like caves and you can break them to get items out of them, but like the pots don't even have anything. It'd be nice to see like fully intact pots with like loot in them or something.
Yeah,
Would
an
be kind of cool.
inventory or
Yeah.
something in there.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
you don't even
Just
have to
like
have
a
an inventory. You
dropper.
can just give it a like well, yeah, you would just give it a loot table and that's it. And just have
Yeah.
only the naturally spawned ones have loot in them and then anything else doesn't.
I mean, they are already entities, so that
Yeah, I
would be
mean,
possible.
yeah, could be.
Um.
I think it comes back to overall there's a lot to be excited for and maybe even not excited for, but like there's a lot coming. There's
Yeah.
enough aesthetic changes coming that I think well maybe it doesn't look like a lot on the surface. There's a lot there, and I think like we've talked about, the little things are the things that in 6 months we're going to remember. We're going to look back and be like, okay, this insignificant part of that is my new favorite thing, or this
Yeah.
changed everything and this is everywhere. And so that's what I'm most excited for is getting in and really playing around with things and learning the new methods and like and experimenting with all the things. And I it's there's a lot to be excited for still here, I think.
Yeah.
But with that, I think that's about all the time we have for today. So a reminder for anyone watching on YouTube, this was recorded live in the Channel 64 community Discord. So if you want to hang out with us in the future and ask questions, make sure you follow that link below to join us, and we'll see you next time.